Hello, everyone. I'm so excited. Today is the official release day of the Council of Horses Oracle. I've spent many years conceiving, collaborating, and co-writing the guidebook with Sandra Wallin and creating the artwork for this beautiful deck. I am so excited to share the actual deck with you today. So I know you can't see the cover fully because it's backwards on the selfie version of my camera, but you can see the deck, which I've shown a little bit before, and behind me is the artwork that was selected for the deck for the cover. And I just wanted to share the beauty of this amazing creation. So here is the guidebook, and the deck of cards is inside. It's all one kit and beautifully boxed in a very convenient size. And the back of it says a little bit of an introduction, allowing you to tap into the earthly and spiritual wisdom of horses. This oracle embraces humanity's millennia-old relationship with horses and its interactive guides to transformation. Each beautifully illustrated card conveys the captivating presence of the horse, offering an encounter with the equine soul while transmitting healing frequencies directly from the mystical council of horses. Serving as portals of transformation, the cards allow you to actively engage with horses as sentient beings who choose to support the well-being of humankind. That's just a bit of that introduction. And here are the beautiful cards. They chose this work of art, which I've shown on Facebook for the cover. It's taken from the card called Ex Chambers Lux, which you'll see featured. What I love about the cards is they're almost iridescent. There's a shimmery quality to them. I don't know if it's just the paper and if you can see it on the screen, but they've just got this amazing sort of, you feel like you're looking into the card instead of just at it. And then each card is depicted with a little message and the title of the card. So this is one of the new cards, is Albarak. And here's one called Equus Caverna, Cave Horses. Akashkua. And Kelpie. All right, so I can't show them all here, but I just wanted to share a few with you and read a little note from the guidebook as well. So this deck is very unique and different, and there was great intention that we had in creating it the way we did. We wanted the horses to speak directly to the reader, not just be spoken about. And as we all know, horses have such an amazing sentient nature and a consciousness, and they have ways of speaking, and now they have a few words as well. So this has a beautiful description in the how to use the cards section called Why Horses? And this is a paragraph, a little few sentences from that. Humans and horses have chronicled a difficult yet beautiful shared journey. The Council of Horses Oracle harkens back to a time when horses were considered divine, and hippomancy, a form of equine divination, was used in ancient cultures. However, now instead of foretelling crop cycles or battle strategies, mythical and modern horses are embodying the lexicon of Equus to support personal and planetary evolution. And that reminds me also to describe how this deck is not just archetypal mythical horses, some of whom we met as new beings that were brought to our consciousness, but it's also depicting everyday horses in our lives and some of the horses we met in our journeys, because every horse is a mystic. So I'd like to also talk a little bit about my herd, because it was amazing how this work of art ended up being chosen for the cover of the Council of Horses Oracle. It was actually the last piece that I did, and it is the council, or what we call concilium equorum in the deck, the Council of Horses. And I was inspired at the very end of a very long year creating some of the final artwork for the deck. And this amazing vision came about. And all of the horses are, you can see they're up in the ether in the amazing Aurora Borealis, coming down, visible for a short time so we can perceive that they're always here and always with us. And I was actually not planning to put my own horses in the deck, but as it turned out, the composition called for it, and I was able to include my herd of 7 in the deck, or in the artwork. So it's actually really very personal to me, and I've allowed myself to keep the original of this one. What's beautiful about on the card deck, you'll see that actually the horses are visible just below the title. And what's really sweet to me is that the publishers even had enough horse sense and awareness to depict my mare Dharma, who was the alert and vigilant one. They put her tiny little ears, little like millimeter ears, just over the little band of the title, so you could see her, checking everybody out from the cover there. And she's also depicted in the card Dharma's Path, which is the artwork above us. These are reversed because of the camera, but that is called The End of Suffering. And those of you who followed my blog stories about my mare, who was an ex-racehorse, will recognize some of the story there. So I'd like to pick a card in closing for the group, for all of you listening, and for the consciousness of horses and any horses that need this message, horses that share your lives, horses that are out in the world that need some guidance from the council. They are always accessing the wisdom of the Council of Horses, but as we know, when things come to consciousness, then things shift for the better. So I'd like to shuffle the cards and see what card comes about. It's so amazing to actually hold these in my hand and my hands, and to see the deck. I just still can't get over the reality of it. I look at it and I think it's impossible to imagine that this took such an incredible amount of effort and thought and intention and work and joy and laughter and tears. Our horses are present in every letter, every sentence, and every stroke of pastel. So, what do the council want us to know for today in the release date of the Council of Horses? Well, this one is very personal and special to me, and I hope will become for you as well. Akashkua, I was showing that one earlier. Akashkua is a being that I met as a spirit guide at some of the early workshops when I was first exploring my intuition, and horses were awakening that in me. And he's the only guide really to date that for me personally gave me his name. So that felt like it was a very big portent of his importance to me as well as to others. I'll just read a little bit of his story and the guidance for today. So the cards are alphabetical, and that was a beautiful way to depict them so that they each have their place in the herd. Akashkua is represented by your soul's purpose, nudges and hunches, synchronicity, and Akashic records. I'm not going to film this again, so you'll just have to put up with my words. Message for humankind. You have the knowledge to be a creationary force in the world. And each card has a message for horsekind. The importance of your species has been well documented in the Library of Time. My story Whenever you look upward or look inward, you might catch a glimpse of me. I take form from the ether and wear it like a cloak, giving substance to the invisible so you can perceive my presence. I'll show the card while I'm reading. He's in the clouds there. I am made up of Akasha, the fifth element, which is more than spirit, more than space. It is the very energy that binds the universe together and of which physical matter is composed, defined as the force and the source of all that is. Contained within Akasha are the Akashic records, a vast etheric library that holds the universal knowledge of all events and experiences across time. And then there's more to it, but I don't want to give it all away. So the counsel from Akashkua is you and whichever horse needs to hear this counsel. You came here with a higher purpose. Your calling has been nudging you on the shoulder. I remind you to hearken to the sparks of your intuition, the small, seemingly random glimmers that you keep brushing aside. There's some more in between. These sparkling clues light your way, holding patterns of information for your interpretation. Your questions themselves are clues, for if you have questions, that means some aspect of you intuitively knows there is an answer. Trust these answers to reveal themselves. And there's way more, but again, I'm not going to give it all away. In addition, there's contemplations at the end of each essay, which are a very prescriptive element that allow us to question how exactly can I apply this information. A couple of the contemplations for this card is, do you know what you came here to do? If you're not sure, what clues have you received throughout your life? How has your horse sense ever shown up in a way that feels prophetic? So, and then it closes with an invitation, which is a beautiful guidance from the horse again to wrap up the reading. And that's just one card. So these work well in herds as well. We have guidance about sample card readings. We have added different spreads. Some of them have the names of the horses themselves and the beings, like Chiron's Way is a spread of 3 cards. And it's just, it's an amazing, beautiful guidance from the horse that we have spent our lives creating. So I welcome you to explore this deck, find it in your travels. I'm selling them online on my website as signed copies, so I can send it with a little signed blessing for the reader, or they're available worldwide through booksellers and online all over the world now. So it's incredible. It's a big day for me, for my evolution as a soul and what I came here to do. So Akashku is speaking to me as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.